Hi, do you struggle with throwing down to second or simply throwing balls in a baseball game? Hi, I'm Dr. Cohn. In this video, you're going to learn why you might throw a ball into the dirt or throw it over the pitcher's head or the first baseman's head unexpectedly. You're watching Sessions with Doc. So here's what Jason had to say about his throwing. I grew up playing baseball my whole life. I get nervous when I even just think about throwing. And when I try to throw hard at my target, I throw it in the dirt or over the person's head. How do I get over this? Well, Jason, we have a name for this. It's called the yips or the throwing yips. The throwing yips are when you essentially have fear of missing a throw and then you begin to over-control the throw. And when you start to over-control the throw, like think about how far back you should take it, you think about your elbow position, you think about your release, then what happens is it leads to inconsistent throwing, and it can lead to you throwing it in the dirt, and then on the next throw back to the pitcher, you might throw it over his head, or to the first baseman, for example, from third base. So the yips are one of the hardest challenges that ball players have to deal with, because often what happens is they approach them from a strictly physical standpoint. Hey, your mechanics look a little bit different. What are you doing differently with your mechanics? Or a coach may see you over-controlling the throw or going to what I call a safe throw, and then essentially they start fiddling with your mechanics and saying, no, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. And so ball players get sucked into working on their mechanics with the throwing, when the throwing is one of the most natural things that you do that you've done your entire life. So it often can compound the problem. All right, so, well, how in this instance do you get some relief? How do you start to throw freely, as I call it? Throwing freely depends on two different things. Number one is how you go about your practice and your warm-up and the first few throws in the first inning. And then secondly, it has to do with the fear. Typically, when I work with ball players on this, they have what's called fear of failure. They worry about embarrassing themselves. They worry about letting down teammates, letting down a pitcher, letting down a coach or a parent. And that fear is really what drives the yips cycle, as I call it. That yips cycle is, I don't want to miss, I'm going to tighten up, I'm going to go to my safe throw, I'm going to over control, and that's what ultimately leads to problems with your accuracy and your control. So from that perspective, you have to understand what is undermining your freedom to throw. Are you afraid of embarrassing yourself? Are you afraid of letting down your teammates, your coach? And then you have to attack that head on. And I do that with players. I help them get to understand what's their specific fear of failure, and I help them attack that. The second part of that is you got to retrain yourself to throw naturally. Sounds funny, right? To retrain yourself to throw naturally, but that's exactly what you have to do. So you start in a non-stressful environment where you start throwing the ball maybe just at a target on a wall, and you start freeing up the arm. And that's where you go, and you progress to the warm-up, and then you progress to the game time, and try to keep that same freedom of the arm. Hey, if you want more information on this, check out my website at baseball-yips, where you can read articles, you can check out videos, and you can download a free report about the yips cycle. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. If you want to be notified when we upload more mental training videos just like this one, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just click on my picture in the upper right-hand corner of this video. We've teed up 2 more mental training videos for you to check out today. Please visit our website if you want to learn more about mental training.